Hey folks, I seen this picture late last week and I knew I had to find a way of doing a reflection about it. It's an oil tanker off the coast of England hovering above the water. It's pretty cool, right? Now, I did some searching in the Bible. I went on Google and just typed in, what does the Bible say about illusions? I thought maybe there's something out there that they allude to illusions. Really, the only thing that comes up is to be wary, to watch out for sorcery, to watch out for magicians and illusionists, to watch out for those people who call upon spirits, for the diviners in the world, to give them a wide berth, to stay away from them as much as possible. These people are dangerous. They're not just speaking to any old spirits. They're speaking to evil spirits from time to time, and they may not even know it. They're playing with fire. They're playing with things that they don't necessarily understand, and they're doing it for personal wealth, for personal gain. You think of that poor Simon the magician from the book of Acts. It was all about what he was going to get out of it, and damn him. Then I thought, look at that tanker. Like it's hovering above the water. That's amazing. The Bible doesn't say anything about that kind of an image. Do you remember being a kid? Or maybe it's just me, but I remember being a kid and seeing those mirages, right? On a really, really hot day, you'd be walking down the street and you'd see the mirage. It would look like there was water on the street in front of you. For a kid, it was absolutely magical that this stuff could happen. How is this possible? These things were amazing. They were mind-blowing. They were mind-bending. They inspired me anyway. I wanted to know why is that happening? I wanted to know the answers. How is it possible? Explain this to me. Now, I did read the explanation for how that tanker's floating. I'm not going to try to offer it to you. If I can figure it out, I'll add one of the visuals. It has something to do with light reflecting or refracting off the water. And anyway, bottom line is there's no sorcerer, there's no sorceress out there in a rowboat holding the tanker above the water. There's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing for us to be concerned about. And that was part of my disappointment when I searched through the Bible for illusions, is that there was no sense of curiosity about these things. Right? This tanker in this picture is floating there because of the way the world works, because of the physical properties of our planet, because of the way light bounces around off of other objects, the way light shines off of the water, and the way our eyes are created to see this stuff. You know, with all those arrows and lines drawn. But the bottom line is that tanker hovers there because of the way we are built, because of the way this world is built, and because of the way we all operate together. It's a marvel. It's an absolute marvel. It's something for us to explore. I mean, there are things in the world that we shouldn't fiddle with, I'm sure. Very fortunate I haven't myself come across any. This kind of thing, it isn't one of them. Right? This kind of thing isn't one of them, and it should inspire us. It should inspire us to look deeper. It should inspire us to ask more and more questions. And it should inspire us to want to figure out how all of this works. Figure out how God put all of this together. Images like this make me wonder why some Christians are afraid to explore these kinds of questions, afraid to explore science, afraid to explore and ask those deep, deep questions. And not only scientific questions, right? Not only scientific questions, but theological questions, philosophical questions. How come we're not all willing to explore literary questions, especially when it comes to our sacred text? Why aren't we willing to explore questions about our past, to find out how we actually operated, to find out how we got to be where we are? There's nothing to be afraid of. The answers may be complicated. The answers may be confusing. They may be confounding. They may make our ears bleed. They may make us not want to think very much anymore. But they'll enlighten us. They'll enlighten us to the way things really are. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord's face be made to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord's countenance be lifted up to you, and may you always know the peace of being in the Lord's presence. And I pray that you and I, when we have these encounters with something magical, something extraordinary, something confusing, something that makes us question and doubt, we won't hide from them. We won't shut them off as evil, but rather we'd be willing to ask those questions. We'd be willing to explore, knowing ultimately that we do so safe in the arms of Jesus, in the Spirit of God. Amen.